cannot do does not exist. We are Mr. and Mrs. Dema Adam. We are recording this testimony from Port Harcourt. Sometimes ago in 2021, I was supposed to get married in March. In February, I lost my fiancé. Died. So after he died, I felt so down and everything, like the whole world has ended. I started listening to NSPV since then. Sometimes in 2024, I started a relationship. When I entered into that relationship, I was so scared that, oh, what happened before is not going to happen again. And my mind was not just in that relationship, but I was seeing it that this guy was serious, but I was scared. So sometimes that 2024, I was on the altar. Pastor Jerry now made a statement that somebody that you were supposed to get married, you lost your fiancé, and that you are now in a new relationship, and you are scared that what happened before might happen again.
The man you were dating to be married to, the man died. You are in another relationship that will lead to marriage. You are asking God, God, show me that I can go ahead. Lord, convince me. I need a word. Thus saith the Lord, affliction will not arise. Affliction will not arise. Affliction will not arise a second time. I announce the siege is broken.
And that was how I thought the words. That Pastor Jerry said the person will not die, he is your husband. So that was how I got my conviction that I was in a right relationship that I would need to marry. Fast forward to 2025 in April, we are gloriously married.
I want to bless the name of the Lord for what God did in the life of my sister. When she got married, I told God, I even wrote it down in my prayer list that God, I wanted to give my sister double for all our waiting, for all she has been through in the past. And I told God that if you can do this for me, I will come back on this altar to share my testimony. And here we have, this is word and wisdom the Lord has done it.
They told me that they wanted to give my baby sugar because they were pretend. So I said, no problem, they should go ahead. They went, and 2 days later, they brought one of them for me and asked me to go home, that the second one is seriously sick, that I cannot go home with him, that I cannot stay without, he cannot live without oxygen. I said, the blessings of the Lord make it rich man, it's hard not to. That I came with 2, I must go back with 2. Nothing missing, nothing broken. God cannot give me anything negative. And that was how I waited. I kept on praying, joining the NSPV. On the 8th day, the day we were supposed to name the babies, they brought the one that they said cannot stay without oxygen. They brought him out for a few. They said they can only bring him out for a few minutes. So when pastors are there, that they will bring the baby out for me and they will still observe me, that they will just have to be there and watch whether the baby cannot even stay without, cannot even survive it. But to the glory of God, we stayed for about 1 hour 30 minutes for that naming. That baby stayed without oxygen, and we did the naming successfully. Even after the naming, we're still in the hospital. They were the one that even came and said, let's take the baby back. When they took the baby back, they said they are hearing some kind of noise in his heart, that we should go and they need to do some kind of surgery on him, and it's going to cost us about 17 million naira. I said, what God cannot do does not exist. I don't have that kind of money. What I cannot be servicing. God cannot give me blessing and I will be servicing negativity. I don't have that kind of money and will not go for surgery. God of NSPD is going to do it for us. And that was how we kept on praying. To the glory of God, 2 months later, we went back for medical checkup. And when they checked the 2 babies, the sound they were hearing before, they are not hearing it again. The 2 babies are completely healthy. This is wisdom. The one they said they are hearing something from his heart. It's very sound. Nothing is wrong with him. And this is wealth, my baby. What God cannot do does not exist.